I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Ben Fewtrell. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night? Oh my, it's not night. He's in Australia. Ben, what time is it there now, Ben?
So it's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and it's a beautiful afternoon. The sun's out, and we're in springtime, so it's a lovely time of year.
That's good. It's good. Hey, I never get over the idea that you're in my future, right? It's how amazing is that, right? That I'm speaking to you, and you're right. You're quite over there, right?
Yeah, we're always a little bit ahead, but not always in everything, but certainly in time.
Yeah. Well, Ben, please do tell me which of your talents is responsible at this particular time for us meeting.
I have a feeling it's my podcast, which is Business Brain Food, and being in the same sphere as yourself, Angel, and having the ability to be able to spread our good word has led us to meeting together. So I'm really fortunate and grateful.
Hey, I'm grateful too. You know, on this podcast, I love to connect dots, and you just released your episode 156, right? I mean, if you add 1 + 5 + 6, you can definitely get the 12, right?
Absolutely.
That was an amazing interview. You had this guy from Evernote on, right? His name doesn't come to me. But yeah, you do some amazing things on your podcast. You speak really quickly, Ben.
Everybody tells me that, Angel, and I'm going to try and slow myself down for you because you're very chilled and relaxed, and I am a very fast-paced talker. So I always tell people they've got to speed up the speed they listen at if they're going to stay with me.
Yeah, I can imagine listening to you at 2x. I'm going to test that after to see how that sounds. But tell me, who did you learn?
You're a brave man.
Who did you learn the skill of business from, my friend? You definitely do focus on the business side of things. Who did you learn that from?
Yeah, I was very fortunate that my dad had always been in business, well, my mum and dad, and so I grew up watching Dad build businesses. And then, I went through many jobs in my early teens trying to find what it was I liked. And I quickly worked out after about 12 jobs in 12 months that I didn't like working for someone else. And so, I've always been in business for myself. And now I'm fortunate enough, I've got a company called MaxMyProfit where we actually help other business owners grow their business. And that sort of led me down that path. Because so many people struggle. So that's sort of, that people call it fortunate. Sometimes it's, it's a blessing. Sometimes it's not, having your own business, but I absolutely love it.
Why did you switch into the podcast aspect? Where did that come in?
Well, funnily enough, about 10 years ago, I started podcasting. I did 8 episodes, and the podcast that I had was a lot of fun, but it was very difficult back then. The technology today to be able to podcast makes it so much easier. And we're seeing as a result so many podcasts pop up. But for me, I did 8 episodes. It was just really hard to produce and to upload and to make it work. And I put it on the back burner. And then I returned to podcasting about 3 years ago. And it's always been something that I've loved to listen to. So I'm a podcast consumer. And I thought, you know what, I have got a message that I could spread. I can help many people, and this is a great way to do it. So, if you see a photo of me, I don't have a very good head for video, so audio is perfect for me.
This is great. I've seen via your podcasting as well as via your business, you seem to be a big giver. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big believer. I think Zig Ziglar put it best, and he said, you help enough people get what they want and you'll get what you want. And I believe that, there are many people in the world that are less fortunate than us. And so it's great to be able to give. So, my business, every time a transaction or even a person meets with somebody in the hope of it becoming a transaction, we actually give through a platform called B1G1, which is buy one, give one. And as a result, we've educated people in Africa. We've built homes. We've built wells. In other third world countries, we've provided textbooks to school children in countries where they can't afford textbooks. So we've done all sorts of amazing things. And then personally, I'm also a volunteer pilot for Angel Flight. So I own an aeroplane, and I spend a bit of my time sort of ferrying people around that are less fortunate, once again, to be able to get them from regional towns in New South Wales, because Australia is quite a big country, and bring them into the city for treatment without them having to worry about 8, 9, 10-hour drives. We get them into the city within an hour, hour and a half.
Wow. Hey, well, I mean, from my side of the world, I said thank you for being that individual. This should name you, instead of Ben Fewtrell, it should be Mortrell.
We could do that.
See, I had someone on the podcast earlier, and she said something I really love. She said, when you learn, teach, and when you get, give. I thought that was really fascinating, being as well a Zig Ziglar follower and living by his principles of helping enough other people get what they want, and then you'll get what you want. Have you gotten that part completed, though? Do you find yourself getting what you want now that you've been giving as much as you have?
I get a lot of satisfaction from it. I would be, I'm in a good position. I definitely don't think that it's hindered me getting what I want by giving. So I'm going to continue to give. I think it's a great thing to do, and never has anything bad come from it.
Now, point us to where we can go to get more information about you, Ben, and what you do.
So the main place to go is to maxmyprofit.com.au. Make sure you put the .a on, the .au, because we are an Australian-based company. Or, of course, my podcast, which is Business Brain Food, which is a weekly show that they'll find, as you said, Angel, I'm up to nearly 160 now that I've recorded, but I think the latest one that was released was 156. So I've been doing that now for a few years, and absolutely love the ability that we've got through the internet to be able to chat with people and broadcast content all over the world.
You're doing an amazing job. Tell me one other thing that you've done, Ben, consistently over the last 3 years.
Something that I've done consistently over the last 3 years, besides podcasting, is building my business. That's my passion. It's funny, I'm not great at managing a business. I'm great at building businesses, and so I'm always innovating. And so if you look at anything that consistently has happened over the last 3 years, it's the innovation that I've brought to my business, and the ability to be able to add, additional value to the clients that we have, whilst charging them less in some cases. So it's great to be able to do that.
How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel very proud, because I think, I see many people, doing things for their own benefit, is where I'm a bit of a giver. So, as I've been able to streamline my business and use technology and innovation to deliver in different ways, I'm making what we do available to more people. And if you think about the statistics of small business across the world, they say 8 out of 10 small businesses will fail. And unfortunately, education for business people is not in the reach for everybody to be able to pay a consultant or someone to help them. So, I'm pretty proud of what I've achieved.
Now, you have a bold statement on your LinkedIn page. I'll read it, right? You said, I've developed a 5-stage business acceleration business blueprint that, when followed, guarantees growth. You want to spell that out for us a bit?
Yeah, it would take me a bit of time to go through all 5 stages, but essentially, after being in business for 25 years, and I've got a business partner who's also been in business about that length of time, there are some key things in every single business that have to happen for it to be successful. And so we've got something that's as close to an instruction manual as you'll ever get for a business, in my opinion. And it takes people through 5 stages of business growth, right from setting up the foundation, so getting the basics right, to then making sure the sales and marketing is working effectively, to then making sure that everything is optimized. So we've got systems and we're leveraging off of technology. So the business is efficient and it's effective, which, it maximizes profitability. That we've also then got a team in place. So once we get our business well systemized, we can then bring in other people, and it's very easy to train people and then to leave people alone to do their jobs, because the systems monitor what's going on. And then the final stage, which most business owners never think of, which is the 5th stage, is then what I call the transitioning, or the diversification, which is getting out of the business to go and invest in other businesses, or it could be franchising, or it could be property, or even just selling the business to retire on the sale price of the business.
Love it. Amazing audience. We are live with Ben Fewtrell. Do check him out. Again, he is the podcast host of Business Brain Food. Ben, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Ben, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I actually have a memory of driving my little blue pedal car. I had a Formula One pedal car that I used to love driving around the veranda of our house,
How
which
old
is,
do you
I
think
think you call it a porch.
Yeah.
I think it would have been maybe 3 or 4.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
Because I think I've always had a love for motor vehicles and driving, and it's probably when I was just, I was just happy as a kid because I was doing what I loved.
Yeah. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Absolutely. Love to hear it.
Oh, I love the fact that in this conversation you were talking about, you know what? I love building businesses, and the model of the car, the pedal push car, right? It's one where you're definitely the person that is making the car move, right? You're pedaling that, you're pushing that pedal there. It is truly fascinating that having the car and aligning it with what the business looks like, there's so many moving parts, right? There's the wheels, there's the engine, there's so many parts. But to see that you are the individual to this day that is responsible as the heartbeat, if you would, the pedal, if you would, the motive, the motion, is pretty fascinating.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. That's a great distinction.
You're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
When I was 12, wow. I was quite a strange child, and I loved John Denver of all things. And he had a song which was Some Days a Diamond, Some Days a Stone. Now, I don't know if that was the title, but it was certainly the line that I remember from the lyric.
Yeah. It's amazing how these things connect, right? I mean, in business, definitely the theme, right? Sometimes diamond, sometimes stone, right? Most definitely. Well, Ben, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Going to go pretty quickly here. Ben, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, I have. My son. My son's going to get my skills.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Do you have other children than your son, or is he the only?
No, I've got a daughter as well.
Do you believe in God?
No, I don't.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes, I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Probably not.
What about screen time, the phone and of the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less than 8.
All right. Ben, after having 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook, the name of it being Yours, Your Own Unique Real Self. And as you dig deeper in the workbook, you uncover your own unique real statement, your mission, if you would. If you had to share with us, Ben, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who Ben Fewtrell is, what would you say that is?
So I would say I am the enabler to enable people to fulfill their dreams or build the business that they imagined.
Love it. Ben, hey, again, a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I would just like to say thank you very much for listening. And Angel, thanks for the opportunity. I really love what you're doing. And, no matter how tough your day seems, there's always somebody else doing it tougher. So keep your chin up, move on, and focus on the goal.
Love it. Ben Fewtrell, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.